Okay, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA. Today with Shane Parker, professional MMA fighter, previous former wrestler, man. How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm good.
Man, you're still at Australian top team. That's what it says online. Is that right?
Former. I'm
Now
more
where you
so
at?
coaching. I'm at Rival Gym, Castle Hill, but I'm more so coaching. I've got one of my young boys fighting on the same card, so I'll be cornering him and then going to go pick up that belt myself.
Nice, man. Tell us about your gym, man. What goes on there? What's it like? What's the kind of vibe there?
Uh, the vibe's pretty chilled. We go hard when we need to go hard.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cruisy. Pretty cruisy.
Nice,
Yeah, it's been a really really good camp. So when I've had to knuckle down and get amongst it, yeah.
Nice, man. I wanted to kick off the interview just having a little chat about your background, man, like where you grew up, where you're from, what sort of drew you into fighting. Can you start off with kind of where you're from, where your parents from, etc.?
So I grew up in Mt Druitt, little rough little neighbourhood in Western Sydney there. I was always getting into trouble, but I was very fortunate to find wrestling right around the corner from my house at Emerton, and pretty much that's what got me into it. I remember the first day I went there, some kid beat me on the wrestling mat. I picked up a stick. I went to hit him. The coach kicked me out for a week, and once I got back there, yeah, you know, there was great discipline for me.
Nah, that's pretty amazing too, bro. And even especially in Australia, given that there's not that many wrestling places around, right? Some of the old PCYCs, etc., had a bit of wrestling. A few people have come from other countries and kind of kick off the wrestling in Australia, but not so strong there. So it's pretty lucky that you ran into it, eh?
Yeah, I was very fortunate that I got into it. A lot of my cousins and family members, like my brothers and sisters, got into it, but I was pretty much the only one that stuck around and kept going through it.
And man, you achieved pretty good things in the wrestling, right? You even competed in the 2010 Commonwealth Games, right?
Yeah, and I made history being the first Indigenous wrestler to compete for Australia in the Commonwealth Games.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. Made history, bro. Can you talk about your background, bro? Your family? You mentioned Indigenous Australian background, bro. What sort of part of the culture do you kind of, do you know? Have you sort of enjoyed learning more about your culture, etc.?
When we were young, we didn't have a good knowledge of where we came from and stuff like that. When I got a little bit older, that's when I dug a little bit deeper into it.
Yep.
Both my parents weren't really that culture, like they were culturally aware, but never really tried to teach us much of it. So I had to dig deeper into my background and where my people come from, and yeah.
And what about things like language or art or other areas of culture? You looked into that much?
My dad was very good at art. He would always paint and stuff, but language, I'm still learning that as we're going. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Something I didn't realise, man, which when I was just looking you up, something popped up in my search and it was talking about Indigenous Australian wrestling, that it had been like a long-term thing, had been going on in the different communities for like a long time, man. Did you know about
Yeah. I would like to get amongst all that and try to share all the knowledge around, and yeah.
Yeah, man. And obviously, like, there's been some great Indigenous Australian fighters through the years, especially in the boxing, right? Like, we've had quite a few very famous boxers, Lionel Rose, the Mundine, Anthony Mundine, Kelly brothers, etc. What do you think it is that about Indigenous Australian kind of lends them to sport, lends them to boxing, etc.?
Well, it's been in our culture for hundreds of thousands of years. So we used to have things back in the day where different mobs will meet up and they'll have little events, and yeah.
So like competition between the different different mobs, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
No worries, man. So just another question. You said you get into trouble when you're a young fella. So were you fighting outside of the cage, bro? Just in the Mount Druitt, like from the area, bro?
Yeah,
You know, it's a
yeah.
pretty rough place.
It was pretty rough, but it was like, I don't know, like from such a young age, even like going down to the local swimming pool and stuff. We would hang out with mates, and then we'd go across the road and go punch on just for fun, shake hands after.
Yeah. That's funny, man. Can you talk about that experience, bro? In that you competed in both Greco-Roman and freestyle wrestling, I remember from reading. Can you talk to us about like the events that kind of were big for you? Like going to Commonwealth Games must have been a bit of a spin out, man. Like it was a big thing.
Yeah, the 2010 Commonwealth Games in New Delhi, that was quite a good eye opener. Seeing all how culturally rich India is, even though like there's no like middle class. It's like you're either poor or you're rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit of it was a great experience. Being in that team too, I met a few like Indigenous boxers, Cameron Hemmon and Damien Hooper.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Hey, so what made you switch from the wrestling over to the MMA, or was that kind of just a natural progression like they do in the States, right? Like heaps of people do wrestling, it's not really for money, and then they think, well, what can I do for money? And they jump over to MMA.
Well, when I was a bit younger, so I did wrestling from the age of 9 to about 12 or 11, and then I started cross training with boxing, MMA. Boxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu. That's when I started doing other things.
Okay, so you've been doing wrestling along with the other arts as well. That's pretty cool.
With the other arts, yeah.
Yeah. So you've been fighting. On your record it says you had your first, I don't know if it's a professional fight in 2012. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
But there was a couple of fights. There was a fight before that, but it's not on my record. And then there was a fight just after that. That's not on my record.
Cool. So you had 12 fights in so far. It looks said you fought Tom Cruise, but I don't know if he was a fighter. I thought he was just an actor.
Yeah, it was a Filipino Tom Cruise.
At your fights, you fought some. You fought some good names, bro. Paul Logar, that was a great wild fight, man. Like it was a sick fight to watch. And fighting Michael Manu, Shannon Ross. What fight sort of stands out to you in your career so far?
It would probably be the Michael Manu. I won that fight. Everyone knows I won that fight. I just got ripped off on that decision. Yeah, that's probably because he was really, really tall, really rangy.
Yeah.
I'm quite a wild man, but I had to keep my hands up that fight.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, he's definitely had a lot of range in that fight, but you still managed to step in and land some big right hands as well, right?
Yeah, I had too much fun that fight. I should have looked for that finish.
Yeah, that's it, man. So what we've got is the XFC 71, February 24th at Mansfield Tavern, Brisbane, Australia, fighting Aaron Toe from CKB New Zealand for the Bantamweight title, bro. How you feel about this one?
I feel quite excited for this fight. I haven't left a stone unturned this camp. I felt like I knew quite early, this fight was going to happen. So, I got in, and I was getting all the hard work done.
Nice, man. Hey, what do you think of Aaron as an opponent, man? He's a pretty menacing dude, strong, seems to be well-rounded. Got some hands of stone, What do you think of him as an opponent?
I think he's strong. I think he's stronger against that cage. But I think once it gets to that open mat, I think he's not very strong off his back. And he does have heavy hands. If he gets a hold of you, then you're gonna start flying. But I don't think he's going to be able to do that to me.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's kind of cool too, like having two kind of Indigenous dudes from representing Australia and New Zealand coming head to head, right? Like, it's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah.
And what do you think of his tamoko, the facial tattoos that he's picked up not so long ago?
Yeah, no, I like it. It suits him, but it suits him. He was like a bit of a pretty boy beforehand, but it's made him a little bit tougher.
Well, he's got the long hair now, bro. It looks like, I don't know, like Tarzan or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be an exciting fight, man, because both of you guys are very exciting fighters, man. You throw down, there's no dancing around the fact that you're fighting with you two, for sure. It's going to be a clash, man. I'm pretty excited to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
What do you think? What do you think are his strengths, bro? You mentioned about that you think he can do okay when he's on his back. So you're a wrestler that'll be looking to put him on his back. What do you think are his strengths, bro?
Yeah, that's he's strong against the cage, big puncher. Strong against the cage, big puncher. So if he gets a hold of you when he's on the cage, he'll probably try to pick you up.
Yeah, and about you, bro. I mean, you're going to be able to counter that because you're a good wrestler, bro. And then obviously, you say you're using the wrestling to try and get him on his back and hold him down. What are your strengths that you're going to play on using for the fight, bro?
Just lots of movement, lots of footwork. Been working on that. The stand up aspect of things is probably my main projective of this fight. So this is where I predict this fight being and staying.
Nice, man. And this is a bantamweight fight, but you fought at flyweight and bantamweight, man. Which one's better? Is it just the fact of trying to get fights, or is it actually like you prefer to be bantamweight?
No, just the fact of trying to get fights. No one at flyweight. No one wants it. So.
That kind of sucks. So with the weight, bro, do you just have to not worry about diet and that, or you still have to diet to get there?
Well, so with the weight, the first couple I had to try to work that out, but now I'm keeping myself at a good weight, keep staying strong, and then having the right time to cut. So
yeah. Bro, do you approach, everyone's got different approaches for MMA, but these days there's a lot of extra things people try and integrate into their thing. Like some of them may be useful, some of them may not be so useful, like your sauna and meditation and thinking about sleep and diet and all this shit. What sort of areas do you kind of pay attention to outside of, your normal training?
Outside of my normal training? Yeah, it'd be visualizing. Yeah, just visualizing everything. The possible outcomes, what can happen to me, and then making sure I'm very weary of those situations.
Nice, man. And speaking of visualization, bro, XFC 71, February 24, Mansfield Tavern, fighting Aaron Toe from CKB. What do you visualize for the fight? What's your prediction?
I visualize lots of movement, so and getting that finish in the third or fourth round. It's going to be a long fight. If I don't get it done, he's just going to get hurt for 5 rounds.
That's it. Sounds like a good one, bro. Training schedule, bro. What's your sort of training schedule when you're leading up to fights? Like, how do you sort of plan the week out of interest?
The training schedule, I usually do like a lot of strength and conditioning during the day, and then during the night, I'm trying to fit in because I coach full time also. So within that time, I'm trying to fit in my own little training sessions to like my wrestling, my striking. Yeah.
Nice, man. All right, bro. Hey, just one last question. What are your tips for people? Obviously being a pro MMA fighter, it's a difficult life. You got to drive yourself. You're working, or you're coaching people. You're training all the time. You're doing everything. What's your tips for people to kind of be motivated and stay healthy, stay active, this sort of thing?
Just bite the bullet. Get up out of bed. Just stop telling yourself, I'm gonna start tomorrow. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Do it today.
Sounds fair, bro. Harden up. Just do it, yeah.
No, yes. Well, I've got 8 kids at home. You know, I'm still finding time to, you know, get out, train.
8 kids, bro. Jesus.
8 kids.
You don't have a TV at home? Nothing else to do?
Well, we foster 3 kids too, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Still, five and 3 is pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. That must be a hectic house, bro. You know, me and the wife complain about having 2 kids at home.
You need another 2, and then you'd be sweet. It'll be a buddy system.
That's it, bro. Hey, last question was, what's your plans for the year, bro? So what are you hoping to do? You there, bro?
What was that, sorry?
Sorry, man, just cut out for a sec. Just asking you, what's your plans for the year? What are your plans? What do you hope to do for 2024?
Get this belt and then start defending it, and then hopefully I'll be able to talk about getting that flyweight title too.
Nice.
Trying to be the double champ.
Sounds like a plan, bro. Have you got any plans or aspirations to fight internationally, bro, in the future?
Yeah, I'd love to jump on the international scene and get some things happening. But yeah.
Nice. All right, bro. Thanks very much for your time. It's good to talk to you. I'm very much looking forward to the fight with you and Aaron Toe, two great fighters, man, that are going to go head to head and give us a good banging fight. So best of luck with your training. Stay safe, bro, and we'll see the fight soon.
Thank you, Toby. Catch ya.